All right, and welcome everybody to another -2 presents The Curse of Strahd. Oh no, wrong one. Sorry, Chuck. I'm too excited to get that one ready for you. Get a little music in the background. So this episode, as are all of our episodes, brought to you by Foundry. Of course, we could not play this game without the virtual tabletop platform that we play on, and that is Foundry. If you guys are looking for a incredibly powerful, easy to use, and extremely modded community to dive into and figure out how to play these games virtually, definitely check out Foundry. It is way more affordable than a lot of the other options. It's a single time purchase application. Your players get it for free as long as you have it. We wouldn't play without it. It's absolutely incredible. And if you guys are looking for help or looking to dive in, just give me a shout out or join their Discord. But Chuck and I both use it religiously, and we're more than happy to help anybody in our Discord. You guys have Foundry help. I know we've gotten a few DMs to switch over and start using it, and it's been a game changer. And I think, Ben, you recently just started kind of messing around with it too, right? And it was fairly easy to use.
Super intuitive, tons of documentation. Yeah, it didn't make me feel stupid.
Fantastic. Of course, our Foundry games wouldn't play as well without the support of our sponsor for tonight's episode, Forge. The Forge is a hosting website specifically dedicated to running Foundry games online. We would not be able to play with this international North American group that we have so smoothly without it. They've got over 200 server locations that are all across the country, and you can take that Foundry key, upload it, and for a very, very nominal fee, host those games with a ton of storage, support, and an additional Bazaar feature, which has even more mods available to you than what are normally available through Foundry. So definitely check them out. I know we splurge for the $12 a month World Builder tier for our membership, but I don't even touch the data storage on that, especially with all the animated maps and music and everything that I put in here to bother Chuck. So
yep.
Definitely check out Forge. All the info is down below in the panels, or go to forge-vtt.com. Of course, a lot of the audio you will hear tonight is brought to you by Tabletop Audio. They are a user-supported audio platform that is specifically dives into ambience. For a lot of these games, we use it, including the track playing now is from Tabletop Audio. They do a really, really nice job. The audio tracks all sound great. They're free to download. You can stream them if you play your games at home. They have a sound pad feature where you can do live combat and make noises as things are happening, as well as sign up for their Patreon and you get exclusive alternate versions of all these tracks to really tailor them to your specific game. So check out tabletopaudio.com. Another sort of sponsor tonight is Dragon Knight Dice. Dragon Knight Dice are the creators of the dice that we are doing for our dice giveaway this month, next month, and the months continuing. Dragon Knight provides custom D20s and just tabletop RPG dice, and they are absolutely gorgeous. This month, our giveaway is for our Quaylen Kazoo dice, based off of Tuesday night's character from the 5 Best Friends, Quaylen Kazoo. I think, Ryan, can we get those on the screen?
Oh God, look at them.
Oh, they're just beautiful. Couple little Mark 1 dice and a very, very tiny extra D6 to represent Mr. Quaylen. Make sure you spend your elf eggs down below. It's 2,000 elf eggs. Just about a full episode, I believe, should get you there. So if you stick around to the end, you'll have enough to enter in. You can do that every single stream that we run. We'll be giving those away at the beginning of December. Also, if that wasn't enough and you feel you still need some additional bribing to stick with us here throughout the episode, for the cost of a follow, just 300 elf eggs, you can win a Steam game. What are we giving away tonight, Ben?
Backed by popular demand, we have Manual Samuel. I had no idea what genre to call this game, but it looks hilarious. The art style cracks me up.
Manual Samuel, yeah, that was a pretty popular one, I think, and I think we even ended up buying an extra couple copies just so a few of us could mess around with it because it looks so goofy. So you can get that for free tonight. All you have to do is click the buttons, the 300 elf eggs, and you enter a giveaway for that. So we do that every stream as well, just because we understand that we don't do a good enough job to get you to stay here for free. So thank you. I think I got everything this week, Ryan, and I know you're super impressed by that.
I'm
But have I missed
thrilled.
anything?
I don't believe so, actually. Look at you. Look at you. We went there. You talked about Discord and games and giveaways, and I am
Yeah.
floored, Jay. Well done.
You know, I'm trying. I'm trying to be better every single day, just for you, just so you'll stop yelling at me and hitting me with large sticks.
The beatings will continue. It doesn't matter how well you do, but you know, keep it
Well,
up.
you know, the response is relatively Pavlovian at this point, so you know, I think I'm here for it. You guys ready to? You guys ready to play Dungeons and Dragons?
No.
Oh yeah.
Some of us more than
Good.
others.
Bring it on.
All right. So last time, our intrepid heroes in the dark city of Barovia wandered into the only tavern that seemed to make sense, the Blood of the Vine, where they met with an interesting character named Ismark. Ismark convincing them desperately, begging them to assist in freeing his sister from the curse that the apparent dark ruler of this land was inflicting upon her. Being the heroes that you are and smelling perhaps a bit of coin in the process, you agreed to assist Ismark. And while you discussed the finer details, our curious Eladrin decided to partake in a interesting pastry that he had received from a old woman selling them on the street. Having taken that first bite, swallowing, you watched as your vision faded in front of your eyes, blurred out before you, and the rest of you watch as he collapses unconscious onto the top of the bar.
We just got
Does he have a flask? What?
I know. So I start looking. I start like rummaging through his things to see if I can find some a booze stash or something.
Did our friend hit his head in the house before?
Yes, the wine here is strong, so perhaps he was imbibed a bit too much.
I didn't think Terry's came that strong, but all right.
Darius in particular is deceiving. It does not taste as potent as it is. So I've seen many men walk into to walls while after just a few terries. Anyways, so I thank you, heroes, for your agreement to assist. I will be on my way now back to my home. Meet me there first thing tomorrow. Find the Burgomeister's mansion. It is down in the southern part of town.
You got it.
Could do that. So I got my hand getting him up to his room. I kind of grab onto Tensveta and slug him over my shoulder, and so I want to grab like a pitcher of water or something. He might need it.
I'm behind you.
The that sort of chubby barkeep puts a pitcher of water up on the table with grubby hands, and he wipes them off on his apron. Oh well, let me go and get those rooms ready for you now. I'll be back in just a jet. And you see as he disappears behind the bar, appearing on the other side and heading up the set of stairs.
I'm gonna follow him on the way up just to make sure that I know where he's going and find the room.
I'm gonna look behind the bar, see if I see anything fun
He's
and
gonna
exciting.
steal from the. He's stealing drinks from the bar, guys.
So just to clarify, Cole, you brought Tensveta up to the room. You're up in the second floor.
Yeah, I'm following the barkeep to whatever rooms he's preparing, just so I know where he is and I don't have to figure it out on my own whilst also carrying a full-grown man.
All right, I'm not going to switch you to there, but yeah. So he is very much in the middle of still. You can see the beds are still tousled, and he starts to rapidly begin to clean these two rooms. Did you guys do 4 or 2? Anyone remember?
I don't remember. I just know that I paid for all of them. And I'm down.
Yeah, I'm pretty
to,
sure you did 4.
Yeah.
So as you go up the banister, Cole, you can see down below onto the into the main room, and you can kind of still see, you get a good eye on Ash and Durango sitting at the bar. The rooms are positioned on the other side. I mean, I could show you like this if we go this way. And I'll put Tensveta there, and I will put Cole there.
Neat.
Yeah. So as you make your way around the banister, the rooms that he has prepared for you are on the other side. As you go this way, you see the rooms to the west here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 that have been prepared. I'm sorry, actually, we'll do these 4. All right, he says, I've got a bit of cleaning to still do, but you should be good in this one. And he exits the north room. The rooms themselves are modest. The windows, all curtained, the room is dark. There is a single bed with a very meager straw mat and linen sheets, and a sort of a pillow that looks like it could use to be replaced. A small table on the corner, a barrel of the dresser emptied for any clothes for longer term visits.
Mostly ignoring the decor, I'm just gonna go over and slump him over the bed. And, make sure that an end table is set up and put the picture there, and just get himself, the typical. Oh, this will be a nice thing to have first thing in the morning after my head's ringing.
All right, so you lay him in bed, make sure he's well taken care of before exiting. Yes.
Yeah. Just take. While I'm up here, I just want to get a decent play on the rooms. Make sure I know entrances, exits. Just the way that I've always been in one house that tried to kill me.
Move yourself freely.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah, just sort of looking around. Like I said, one house already tried to kill us, so I'm just trying to make sure there's, no bleeding windows or anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, the inn itself is large. It is definitely nicer than others that you've stayed at in the past. But for the most part, the trappings are bland. There isn't a lot of decoration. There's not a lot of color. Everything looks relatively unused. Even in some of the smaller cities that you've been to or towns that you've been to of this similar size, finding 4 rooms can sometimes be a challenge. I mean, they're often merchants or people staying there for a significant amount of time. So in this size, in a town this size, and to have the open rooms that it does is odd. And while a little underutilized, it is all, passable for as far as comfort goes.
I don't know if I'm so comfortable leaving him up here alone. So yeah, I'll find my own room. Yeah, we'll do the middle one across the way. Was that a room? Yeah, it's a room. Okay.
Yeah, this one has it looks like there are actually 3 beds here, although you've only paid for one. So the bartender quickly leaves this room as well. The bed's all loosely made, and pressed. The majority of the room itself empty. There is another small table in the corner, a couple foot lockers that you examine, and all appear to be empty as well.
Yeah, just case the room quick. Look under the beds, make sure there's nothing sitting there waiting for me.
Make an investigation check.
Investigation. Okay, that's a 13.
Yeah, so with a 13, you notice a slight breeze as the window gently rocks open. It has been left open, and the curtains flutter a bit in front of it.
It's later in the year, right? So it's starting to get cold. Was that the
Correct? Yeah, it is roughly autumn season. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go over and close them. Don't want to catch cold in the middle of the night.
Okay, you pull it tight, and you latch it shut. Down in the alley, you see in the dark, through a bit of light from the street, that cart again. Just the tail end of it as it passes behind another building.
I'll wait a few. Just keep looking, make sure that I just want to see if she comes back out.
Make a perception check.
Shit. 7.
Yeah, so it's difficult to see much of what's happening. There's a very dim light that's being cast from a torch, like a lantern that has been lit on the street corner. The only light you can make out is a bit of a bustle as the wagon approaches, begins to move again. A small figure seems to be dragged from the house that was the wagon was in front of, and placed in the cart.
Figure like humanoid figure or just?
It's tough to tell with the shadows, but that's where your mind raced to.
I know it's not my business. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking about it bothers me a bit, but I'm here for the money, mate, and it looks like we're gonna get paid well tomorrow to do a little escort mission. Easy peasy. Yeah, I'm going to lay down. I just pick one of the beds, whatever looks least shit, and Yeah, just sort of later, and you know, pay that no bother. But did I see Tensveta take a bite of that pie?
Tensveta, would he have seen you? Were you?
I mean, he wasn't exactly being secretive about it, so probably, unless he wasn't paying attention. Depends on how much attention he was paying.
Yeah, go ahead and make another perception check. I mean, your passive's not very high, so I'll give
No,
you.
my passive's crap. Oh yeah, I didn't notice it at all. That's a 3.
You really
Eat
weren't
pie,
paying
sucker.
attention. You were really more concerned with Ismark and judging the quality of your mark.
Yep. Well, I just start bedding down, picking out the dirt from my boots, and making sure the spikes on the Morning Star are still sharp and uncorroded, and oil everything.
The barkeep leaves the last room and passes by the door, and he opens it a bit as he looks in and says, "Well, right, done for the evening then. You and your pointy-eared fella."
Yeah, I think I'm all right. He's all set up in there with water. If he needs anything.
All right. Well, if you need anything throughout the night, you feel free to make yourself at home. Kitchen's just past the bar. Not much there till the morning, till the missus go shopping. But what or anything else you need, you'll find it there.
That works, mate. Thanks.
Yeah. Cheers. He closes the door, and you hear the footsteps. Durango and Ash. The two of you still at the bar. Ash, you said you were looking for something?
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking behind the bar for a ledger. See if I can find anybody who's been staying at this hotel.
Okay, make an investigation check. Now, there are several other patrons still at the bar or in the inn, although they don't seem to be paying any attention to all of you. Are you trying to do this quietly, or are you trying to?
This is gonna be more quickly. I'm gonna kind of pay attention to where like he was putting the gold and stuff, and I'm just gonna kind of reach over and feel. I'm not trying to like leap behind the bar or anything.
Okay.
Maybe stand up and lean over. Ash is, hey, Fortescue, watch for me. Be my lookout. And then I'll roll that investigation.
Yeah, give me a sleight of hand too.
I didn't find anything for sure. That's that. I was very clearly seen. 7 for
You're a
investigations.
fighter and not a rogue, so I don't know
Yeah.
what you're doing.
So you start rooting around the other side of the bar, trying to be stealthy, but as you do so, you're knocking into glasses and things like that. One rolls and falls, and it doesn't break, but it just makes that awful noise that a cup makes as it hits the ground several times. The rest of the patrons don't seem to pay you any attention. You continue to feel around trying to find that box, and you think you find it, but your hands slide into something that is like gooey, and you pull them back, and there's a bit of gravy from some leftover food or something that someone was eating on your fingers, and you sort of just wipe it off. Or
Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Durango just smiles at him with amusement and raises his glass towards him as he says what sounds like a toast, but it's infernal that he's speaking. He's actually saying, "You will hang alone, friend."
Cheers. I don't understand infernal.
As he says that, and you say cheers, the two of you grab the beverages that you were drinking and turn. In Durango, you were keeping an eye out anyways, but there's a strong gust of wind blows through the front doors of the tavern. As it does, one of the doors bangs against the other, and as it goes to shut itself again, as if the momentum closing it, a pale hand stops the door from closing. A figure walks in. Tall, pale, noble features. Fine embroidered silken clothes, a long dark cape stretched across his shoulders. Jet black hair cascading down to the nape of his neck. The tavern itself seems to almost stop. The patrons, almost frozen in time, continue to pay no mind to the door or the two strangers in the bar. The figure's eyes gaze the room and fall on the two of you. These dark, pitch black, empty voids seem to lock in this cruel, almost playful, crimson smile. As the figure walks to the bar next to you. Well, looks like we have some fresh faces in Barovia. May I have the pleasure of your names, sirs?
Durango turns to him with an amused grin and kind of evaluates him quickly, noting the prestige and wealth, and rises to his feet. Ah, yes, many greetings, friend. I am the great Durango Fortescue. And he bows like fairly deeply, like with a dramatic flourish.
The great Durango Fortescue, is it not?
It has been said, my friend. And yourself.
Why, I am the humble lord of this land, Strahd von Zerovich.
Durango's pupils, that solid goldenrod, they flare for a moment with interest, and he kind of gets control of them again, and he bows again, like twice as deep and low, and then like slowly. Yes, the King Strahd, as I have heard. Yes, it is very good to make your acquaintance.
It is a humble kingdom I command, but it is mine nonetheless. King seems a little much. Let's stick with Lord.
You must forgive
That's
me,
you.
Lord. My grasp on your tongue is loose.
Both you and then in Durango, in a blink, he vanishes, and immediately is next to you, Ash. A hand sort of caressing your cheek. These slightly tipped nails sort of scraping across as he does so. And you, also not what you appear to be. What is your name, traveler?
Most folks call me Ash. I'd appreciate just a handshake next time, your lordship.
Mr. Ash, your manners, please.
But I don't like to be touched. I thought we established this.
Quite interesting indeed. So, what brings such fine, upstanding adventurers like yourself to my humble kingdom.
Well, I think I can speak for both of us when I say we're just here to see the people.
Yes, yes. See and bring joy through song.
See and bring joy. Make a deception check.
Oh, no!
Off to a good start tonight, boys. Yeah, that is a 1.
Oh my
For a grand
god.
total of 7.
Your first interaction with Strahd and you're lying to him. God.
Mm.
Again,
got
that
this.
stern face playfully grins again. Oh, I see. We will have much fun, you and I, bringing joy to the people, as it be.
Yes, the people, they say that Lord Strahd, he is a cultured man. He appreciates the arts, has a taste for the finer things. So come Durango.
Yes, well, Mr. Durango, I would, of course, love to hear your talents for myself. Perhaps in an establishment better suiting a man of your caliber. You must simply visit me at the castle.
This is a most generous offer, Lord Strahd. How could a humble bard refuse such an offer?
I think this will be a mutual benefit. The halls have been quite quiet and dank as of late. Could use a bit of life inside those walls.
It would be my pleasure.
Of course, you are more than welcome to bring your friends. I assume they all have a role to play. The one that I shared the road with, yes, he is quite a talented man himself. More serious, he is this great Sir Cole Mavvin. And such great men deserve great rewards. And I can tell you, such individuals of your caliber can be greatly rewarded. And what do you, Ash?
This whole time I've been trying to clock him. Can I get an insight check to see if I can sense what he's meaning by rewards?
I thought you meant punch him. I was going to lose my mind.
Nah, I'm just gonna deck the guy.
God. Oh my god.
Wrong kind of clock. Sorry.
Oh, I just lost my shit. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, just sucker punch Strahd, no big deal.
Nat 20 for a 24.
Ooh.
The duality of man.
Ooh.
My voice cracked. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Ash, you feel as if you are able to read most people. You've seen criminals, you've seen nobles, you've seen every aspect of twisted human deception, and you consider yourself a bit of a connoisseur in understanding when people are lying to you, in weeding out people. You yourself particularly aware of the act and the process that goes into creating a character and in playing that role, putting on a show for others. he is incredibly difficult to read. Everything he says with a level of confidence and conviction that is both intimidating and equal parts terrifying. There is something incredibly dark in those eyes that you can just barely manage to look at, that seem to be peering into your own, as if reading your own thoughts that are happening in your head. The movements are graceful but unnatural, like some sort of animal hunting its prey, and you've seen that before. And all of it is unnerving, and you feel a feeling that you don't feel very often in front of people, particularly nobles, as beads of sweat begin to run down your cheek. With that, with a flourish, he sort of spins around. And Mr. Ash, what is it that you seek here in Barovia? Are you too, like our Mr. Fortescue, looking to spread joy, to meet the people? How can Strahd von Zarevich help you in your endeavors?
Well, like I said, I'm here to see the people, spread some happiness in a fashion. Just here looking for somebody, trying to reunite her with her family.
And with that, he glides over to one of the tables. One of the village folk, a young man, a little grizzled, clearly used to working with his hands, dirty from a day's work, frozen in place, motionless at the table. Strahd, you watch as he runs fingers, these tipped nails through his hair, and he yanks back on the young man's head. Young man making no motion, no sound. Yes, these people, they are interesting, wonderful folk, are they not? He pushes it away. I'm sure you'll get much pleasure meeting the very many denizens here in my humble kingdom. Particularly on your way to Vallaki, no?
I mean, if that's on the table, it's on the table.
He appears next to you again, Durango. Picks a bit of lint off your tunic. Well, it is pointless, and you can tell your friend Ismark. I am Barovia. There is no hiding from Strahd. But I digress. I wish for you to explore the countryside, so enjoy your journey unhindered, and of course, when you're ready, you are more than welcome to visit me at my home.
An open invitation from a prestigious man like yourself. This is quite a boon, Lord.
You and Mr. Mavvin, I feel like we are not so different. We understand the benefits in a good bargain. Enjoy your stay in my humble home until we meet again, and I am sure it will be soon.
Durango repeats that like floor kissing bow, like getting his nose almost scraping the floorboards, flourishing with his cape as he goes down.
Yeah, and as your eyes hit the floor, you see the feet, and for a moment, just a blink, and they're gone.
Durango whirls on Ash, his eyes all taking on a more aggressive flare, kind of an expression on his face. You really must learn to watch your manners around the lords of the realm, Mr. Ash. This will not serve us well. This how what is the word? Animosity?
Listen, in like the week that you've known me, have I ever played well with anybody?
Perhaps you would have a better disposition had you access to deeper pockets.
Something tells me I don't want what's in those pockets. That guy ain't right.
The nobles, they tend to be eccentric. The small folk, they say all sorts of things about them. Or the taxes are too high. They take the right of first night with the brides. Before you know it, they are monsters.
Listen, I've rubbed elbows with some nobles and lords in my day. There's something different about this one.
On that much we agree.
I won't say anything to try to get us killed or in bad standing. Something tells me that it won't matter either way. Ash reaches over and grabs the Terry's apple wine that's left over from Tens and just slams it.
Good. Don't let Terry's go to waste.
Hands shaking all over the place, like just spilling apple wine all over his face.
Durango once again raises his glass in a toast towards Ash as he drains the last of it and then repeats those words in Infernal. He grabs the last half of his meal and addresses him. I will be taking my rest now. I shall see you with the rise of the sun.
Yeah. See you in the morning.
And yeah, Durango goes to find his room with his plate of half-eaten food.
Ash is gonna get one more Terry's and then call it quits for the night.
Yeah, the barkeep passes you Durango on the stairs as he walks by. Gives you a big broken tooth smile. Oh, your mate's already claimed 2 of the rooms out. Just keep going over to your left, and that's where you'll find your room.
You have been most helpful, my friend. My many thanks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No problem. Have a good night, sir.
And to you.
And Ashy comes back down around the bar before and you slam that Terry's apple wine. And then you're retiring as well, or what was that? Is there anything else you want to do before you head off to sleep?
With the bartender. Hey, what's your 2 cents on Strahd?
On Lord Strahd?
Yeah. You gotta have an opinion of some sort.
Don't know for certain. Never met the man. Seems town does all right. Bar does all right. The mistresses, they speak highly of him. I ain't have much reason to speak bad. Ismark tells stories. That's what he does. But, pretty simple folk here. Gets boring. Go make stuff up.
Has Lord Strahd ever come into this bar before?
Not that I've ever seen. Kind of we run the establishment for a noble. You seen his castle up on the hill?
Yeah, kind of hard to miss.
I don't know if I'd be caught here if I had one of them. What about you?
I don't know. Something to be said for a nice ruddy inn.
Yeah, I guess so. That'd be a pretty good name for an inn.
Well, if you ever need to open a second branch, you let me know.
Well, I might just do that.
Hey, I got one more question before I turn in for the night.
All right.
You keep a log of people that stay here? You get a lot of visitors?
Oh, no, never kept like. When you say a log, you mean like a piece of wood?
You got like
We got logs for fire, but we
like a
don't
le-
save them for people.
like a ledger? Just who's in what room in case they need to get mail or anything like that?
Oh no, we don't get too many visitors. And when they do, they tend to come and go pretty quickly. Last one maybe I don't know, maybe 8 months ago.
8 months ago.
Hornet-eared fella, like your friend.
Yeah, what was he doing around town?
I don't know. What does anyone do around town?
That's a good question. It's my first night in town. You tell me, bud.
Like I said, it's pretty simple life. Most just work, drink. Well, what else is there?
Yeah. Guess you don't need anything more than that. Thanks,
No,
friend.
pretty simple.
And I'm either gonna slap down a gold coin on the counter. Tip for your services.
Oh, so generous. Thank you. Have a good night, sir.
You do.
All right.
And then up into sleepy time.
Right. So as all of you tuck in for the night, your eyes close and visions of the house, that odd house that seemed to almost come alive and attack you. Those things that you had to fight in the dark, and the dreams are not pleasant. Many of you, they are interrupted by cold sweats, shivers. Cole, again, at some point in the night, that window bangs open. That latch just refusing to close as you begrudgingly get up and close it again. The shadows seeming to take life. And there's a weird fear that you haven't felt since you were a child. That fear of something out in the dark. You brush it off. Most of you, it's fleeting. It passes before your eyes find sleep again. With the exception of Tensveta. Tens, you dream. Your dreams are beautiful, idyllic. Well, what are they? What do Tensveta's perfect dreams look like?
His perfect dream. Let's see. Well, I imagine it's similar to what I had whenever I first heard of Strahd. But slightly different. Instead of being dark and gloomy as it always is around this space, it's with storytellers, just like they were. There's some good ones that I could have had. I could have heard from people all over the Feywild, but the material people are always the most interesting. And I don't necessarily like hearing stories from the people who like to tell stories, but I like to hear stories from those that don't typically get to tell their stories. Just common people talking about their everyday lives. Boring. Calm. Inspiring. Simple. Not the fuckery that I'm used to. You're muted.
So I saw it. Thank you. So in this dream, you are getting told stories. You're sitting around a campfire or an inn maybe with a fireplace, and smiling faces and cheery townsfolk are telling you tales, tall tales of wizards and monsters and brave knights, evil kings and sorcerers, and it is just everything you could imagine. But it's a dream, and there's a part of you locked in the space that knows that this isn't real, but it's a concept, like an illusion that you can't escape in the moment, because you don't dream, you don't sleep. So the very essence of it is foreign to you. And while you struggle with the reality of you're in this unconscious state, you're also elated by the joy that you're feeling in this moment. And eventually lose yourself in it before rapidly it all fades and your eyes dart open. You are in a dark room on a relatively soft bed. You have that moment of panic that everyone feels when they wake up somewhere they're not familiar. What do you do?
I sit up, and as I breathe, there's a soft bit of frost that permeates the air in front of my mouth as I find myself in winter coming out of this, because it's over. I don't get to experience that. So I think I look around for my things, find that one necklace that we found in the death house, that platinum necklace with the topaz. Just kind of turn it over in my hands. Before reaching down and grabbing a hold of a magnifying glass and just kind of studying the topaz a little bit closer. Finding myself bored with it after a while and putting it aside, and then pulling out just a shred of cloth that is brightly colored. This evidence that I have from a case that I never solved from back home. I think I'd probably just sit and lose myself in thought, staring at it for a while, before finally getting up and checking the door.
Okay. You notice the door is unlocked. Opening it and peering out, you see a dark hallway, dimly lit by candles that have almost run out.
Are there any windows?
There's a window. I mean, I guess let's go back there, I guess.
I think he'd probably stop and make his way over to the window and just look out for a while. In that cold breath almost making... Is it raining outside?
It is drizzling. You can see a bit of the mist on the window outside.
I think he'd probably stay a healthy distance away so that way it doesn't freeze it over on the other side as he breathes. Is it daytime? Does it look like it's starting to get to the point of morning? Or
Yeah, so the sky outside has the vague, at this point now, as you continue to stare, is starting to pick up that vague, dull gray. What typically would be a brilliant display of purple and orange and blue is just a dull haze, as a bit of light barely manages to peek over a mountainside, the valley that this entire village seems to exist in, blocking the majority of that light. The sky still overcast and dreary as bits of it begin to try to peek above that mountain. The mist heavy on the outskirts of town, or anything you can see outside of your window.
And the last thing I remember is eating that pastry and waking up after the dream. Well, I suppose I should probably... It's curious, to say the least. And he'll go back into his room, pull out the pastry, and kind of start looking it over, checking the interior. Unless... Well, I mean, he bought 4, so I suppose he could probably just pull one out if he doesn't have the one that he bit out of.
Right.
Just kind of like pull it apart and start like going through the interior a little bit more.
Make an investigation check.
Nine.
Yeah. The pastry itself, as you deconstruct it, is a fairly flaky, if not a little stale, crust. Inside is a thick, heavy gravy, a ruddy, dark brown. There are chunks of meat. It could be pork, could be beef, you're not certain. But ultimately looks mundane.
Curious. He'll just wrap it up and put it back in his bag. He'll pull out that bag of marbles, count them all out again. Remember that he's missing one. Throws it all back together. Never got her name. Stupid. He'll find himself just sitting at the table in his room, just very quietly, kind of spinning marbles until somebody else wakes up.
Okay. As the hours pass, Cole, you awaken first. The room dimly lit by the overcast sky outside the window. What are you doing?
So I get up with a stretch, and I have my morning star sort of propped up against the side of the bed all night. Just Durango wasn't around, and it's not often that Cal gets a room to himself, which he thought was going to be nice, but it's a damn window, and he goes over and he pulls a scrap of fabric that he tried to tie the knobs together with, and takes it off, shoves it back in his pocket. Let's give a couple knocks on the wall next to him. Go. Oi, Durango.
Yes, I am waking.
Alright. Starts strapping some of the armor back. He didn't sleep in his armor, but he took it off. And the camera would see it as he's putting it on. There are tally marks scratched into most of the surfaces of the pauldrons and of the braces. Bob's that on. He's not even sure why he keeps his old coat, but he, throws that on too, and the sleeves are torn, and this wasn't originally a sleeveless shirt, but a jacket, but it became so over years of use and battles. Gathers his things, gives one more glance out to the window, and goes out and waits in the hall.
Right, Durango, that rapping on the wall next to you wakes you up as you hear that voice through the kind of common. There's a bit of a fireplace that's common between the two rooms, with a grate that runs in between it.
The tone of the knocking.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the tone of the knocking didn't sound urgent, like they needed to flee. So Durango kind of takes his time, getting out of bed, has a long leisurely stretch, kind of like a cat. Catches his reflection in the window in his room, and proceeds to check his teeth and his eyebrows and his hair, and using prestidigitation, clean himself up, get that noble, dashing look going. Shooting himself a devilish grin in the window, he turns and leaves the room, seeing Cole out in the hall. Yes, my friend. I hope you are feeling refreshed.
Rango, not really. This bloody window won't stop flying open in the middle of the night.
Well, I have news for you, my friend. The windows may be the least of our concerns for some time. And he looks around conspiratorially before changing his speech to infernal. By chance, I met the Lord of the Land last night. He has invited us for a private performance at the manor on the hill.
Oh, this Count Strahd or whatever. Strahd?
Lord Strahd, he was very specific on that point. It is Lord.
Lord Strahd. Okay. So you saw he's inviting us up on the hill. That big old one.
He wishes to hear Durango's talents.
Oh, I bet he would. Oh, such
Durango rubs his palms together at the same time.
It's strange to see a human speaking infernal, and it's a little more barky than it kind of should be. Like the accent's all wrong, but it's coming out at least a halfway decent interpretation.
And Ash, that's when you'll awaken, and not understanding the words you're hearing or understanding what the noise is. It almost sounds like two dogs barking outside somewhere. You hear the voices, and you there. It's very clear. You can make out Cole and Durango. You just don't understand any of the words that are being said. But how does Ash awaken?
Hearing that sound and recognizing a not threat in the room, Ash just kind of opens his eyes and takes in the room for a second before moving, and sits up. And he slept in his clothes. He didn't undress or anything. He's too used to having to be mobile too often. But sleeping in leather's not that bad. Does the old, neck crack, and takes a long look in the mirror, and readjusts a few things with his hair and make sure that's the way he wants it to be, and just takes a few moments in self-reflection, just staring at himself in the mirror and thinking on the meeting of Strahd last night and what he's here to do and what he's going to have to do today and going forward. Takes a heavy sigh, stands up straight, grabs the rest of his stuff, goes out in the hallway. All right, Fido, calm down.
You will, but I say that in like infernal back at him.
Yeah, I don't understand a goddamn thing you're saying right now.
Yes, Fido bless this morning.
Right. Okay. Sure.
Tens, you hear the voices outside the door. Yeah.
He lets him kind of catch up outside as he hears them barking. He just ignores it before counting his marbles back into the bag, into the pouch, ties it off on his waist, where his clothes have already started to get kind of a frostbitten look to them. He takes a double take in the mirror and sees kind of like that almost dandruff look in his hair as it starts to dapple in with white. He brushes it to the side briefly. A little bit falls down over his face. So he slowly opens the door. He looks like shit as he steps out. And he looks at the three and just wordlessly starts making his way around the corner to see if he can find his way down.
Did Mr. Tenz's room not have a fire?
No, it did, but Harry's got him. Bob Bloke just needs a greasy sandwich or something from or whatever passes for coffee out. He'll be right.
We gotta search his bags. We can't have him passing out at a bar.
I can hear you.
You did see what I left you, right? I got your kit. You're all set up.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You'll feel better later.
Do you
Alright,
think they have
so-
eggs here, Mr. Cole? And those, what you call strips of pig?
Bacon. It's bacon.
Of course, yes. Do you think, perhaps?
Only one way to find out. Just the coat. having just received some excellent news, feels like treating himself to a large breakfast.
Okay, the inn downstairs at this time of the morning is quiet, calm, like a I'm remiss to call it in Barovia, but like a Christmas morning when you're the first person awake, or that feeling I guess you would have gotten on your first day of school when it was odd to be up at a certain hour when everything was quiet and a little cool in that August time, that fall season. The wind whistles through those loose doors, the entrance to the Blood on the Vine. You are treated again by the sort of pudgy barkeep who looks to be wearing, if not the exact same clothes as the night before, a very similar set that is equally as dirty. As he, treats you to a modest, meager breakfast of eggs and bacon strips or pig strips.
You got anything hot to drink?
Or we like some tea or coffee.
Either one works.
Either one. All right. And he brings back this. It's almost hard to determine what it is because in this mug it is just a thick black liquid.
Is it hot?
It is hot.
As he touches it, he scalds his hand a little bit on the mug before he grabs a hold of it. As he does it, you can see the steam almost start to dissipate as it cools off rapidly, and he just starts chugging it.
It is bitter and earthy.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna see you this evening, or
I think we're taking off from here. I don't think we'll roll back here for a bit.
all right. Well, we'll find us, and I hope you have good travels. Good luck on the road. All that.
Thanks.
All right.
Yeah. Got the door and, kind of, it is feeling a little bit like Christmas to Cole right now. Thinking he's going to meet somebody that's just going to start pouring money on him, whether they realize it or not. And just kind of props himself up the door, waiting for everybody, just picking at his nails and just clearly in a very visibly good mood.
What ray of sunshine found its way up your butthole?
Is that where it's coming from? Start checking myself.
You remember our discussion regarding manners, Mr. Ash?
My, aren't you cheery this morning? And just glares at Durango.
If he wants to be a piss-all mood, let him be in a piss-all mood.
I'm gonna look over to Tensveta and Elvish and go, what ray of sunshine found your way up its butt this morning?
He just rolls his eyes and doesn't even respond.
As you make your way out into the street, the streets are lively and active, noisy even, as comers and goers start to make their way out towards the fields or their shops or wherever they are doing their work for the day. The liveliest you've seen Barovia since you entered last night. Although you're not even certain if it was last night, time seemed strange inside the house that you were in. But you find yourself with an open road before you, directly across from the inn. And particularly bustling is some sort of a shop front, a store. The road leads further south. From this common area that you're in, this town square that you found yourselves in.
Where are we supposed to meet this fella that we're supposed to escort his sister again?
Well, Mr. Tens, before you took your unexpected nap, our friend was saying that we should meet him to the south by the call. What was this word he said?
Right. You're right.
Memory's a bit fuzzy. DM, would I remember? I can't remember for the life of me, right?
Burgomeister. Yeah.
Burgomeister,
The
yeah.
Burgomeister's house.
Yeah, Burgomeister's, yep. It's a weird word. I don't even know if it's English or common. Burgomeister.
Yes, we should meet him by the Burgomeister.
Yeah, and looking down that street that moves south, you can actually see at the top, maybe 200, 300 yards away from you, there is a large house, sort of positioned a little above the rest on a bit of a hill overlooking town.
Before we get too far, what kind of store does it look like we're walking by?
Glancing at the sign, there is sparse light inside the building, and there are these heavy drawn curtains over the windows. But there's a sign above the door that seems to creak as people come and go. That just reads "Bildrath's Mercantile."
Before we get too far, does anybody need anything before we set out on this adventure, this deal, this contract, whatever you want to call it?
Well, I'd like to see how prepared they are for the journey before we go and spend our own hard-earned gold, silver, coin.
Well, for us, though, I feel a bit more comfortable around here if, considering our last encounter, having a bit of potion here there to make sure that one of us does, I don't know, succumb to a giant plant tentacle monster thing. We can heal up afterwards.
Speaking of healing up, DM, did we get along resting?
I forgot about that.
You did, yeah.
Okay, cool. Good.
Very, very good.
I know I haven't gotten the gold for it, but if you find it that important,
Doesn't hurt to take a look. That way, if they are footing the bill, we know exactly what we want. We don't gotta waste time.
Never been sponsored like this, so I wouldn't know.
I don't know if we're even sponsored.
I just think it would be worth it to check it out quickly. We don't have to spend much time.
Lee, quickly.
Cole's gonna adjust his collar and walk in.
You wish to hear the song of Quickly? I have not sang in some time.
It's a good one.
Not really
as
up for music.
Wind door creaks open as you push through. The storefront inside is a modest counter. All kinds of contraptions and items are strewn and hung from shelves all along the walls. There are backpacks, tools, rope. I mean, pretty much everything you could think to want, as well as a large back room that seems to contain even more. A rather dour humanoid looks up at you from counting or writing something behind the counter, and he looks up and, well, welcome to Build Rats. Looking for something particular today.
We're just about to go on our journey south, and we know how the rail could bring dangers. So if you have any healing potions or anything of the sort, it would be helpful.
Yeah. Potions that heal you. You think that is something we just carry willy-nilly around? Yes, of course. I mean, I could sell you a bottle of piss, perhaps. Tell you it heals you. Does that work for you?
You ain't never heard of like a potion, like a healing potion?
I have not, sir. What I do have is some medical kits, perhaps some bandages.
Yeah, that'd be useful to have. Anyone have one of those on them already, or is this something we could benefit from? I don't have one. Anyone have a?
I do not.
Nope.
Anybody good with one?
It's better to have and not be good with, I think.
I was gonna say-
I was just wondering who should be hanging on to it, that's all.
How much for one?
So he pulls out several of these kits that are pre-bundled in these little like haversacks, and they are essentially healers kits. They
Right.
have a bit of twine and needles, thread, that kind of stuff. For one, it would be 50 gold pieces.
50?
50, yes. Do you not understand the language here?
No, that just seems very, very expensive for some needle and thread.
Yes, well, you don't have many options, so if you'd like, you can walk a days outside of town to Valaki and see what they have to offer you there. Otherwise, you buy what I have here, okay?
Durango,
We're going to Valaki anyway.
Durango fingers at his lute strings idly as he shoots the shopkeeper a look. Yeah, surely this one, it is not worth as much as the others, yes? Look at the shoddy construction, the staining on the bottom, and he casts Distort Value.
You cast what?
Distort Value.
Brilliant.
This is I have not heard of this. This is new to me.
Why don't you read the spell description for your friends?
Sure. Do you need to squeeze a few more gold pieces out of a merchant as you try to sell that weird octopus statue you liberated from the Chaos Temple? Do you need to downplay the worth of some magical assets when the tax collector stops by? Stored value has you covered. When you cast the spell on an object of no more than 1 foot on a side, doubling the object's perceived value by adding illusory flourishes or polish, or reducing its perceived value by half. Anyone examining can ascertain its true value with a successful intelligence check against your spell save DC. So obviously I'm trying to make this thing worth half as much.
What's your spell save DC?
My DC is 14.
Good idea.
Well, and he sort of looks it over now, and he's looking at it, and you can see he's obviously annoyed, taking a look at it. Well, it seems fine. I mean, it will do the job. It's 50 gold pieces.
He'll, Tinsveta will just like look it over, cock an eyebrow. That one is very obviously not worth your asking price. My friend wouldn't have pointed it out otherwise.
Are you trying to deceive or persuade?
Persuade.
All right.
$21.
I don't know why I keep rolling with Ash. Probably because it's when I
You have his
bar,
token
the thing I
selected.
clicked on. That's all right. It just says Ash.
I thought I screwed something up.
All right. If you're going to annoy the piss out of me, 25 gold pieces, and then I don't see you again.
Well, if you're going to be pissing anyway, and apparently it heals people, can we have that bottle of piss as well?
You want a bottle of piss? I don't actually carry bottles of piss.
Well, you just said that I'm annoying the piss out of you. Would you like me to annoy you further so that way I can actually get the value that you're telling me that I'm supposed to get out of this with a bottle of piss as well?
I don't. What are we gonna do with the bottle of piss, mate?
You could have some fun.
He's carrying the piss. I ain't carrying the piss.
I will not be pissing in any bottles today.
Yeah, no,
Harry
please don't.
Whipple.
Anybody
see
else
from
want to
the back
contribute to
room.
this?
I've got 10 gold on it.
For the
From the
saving
back
of our
room.
lives, Durango can spare 5 gold pieces.
Yeah. From the back room, as you guys are starting to hound him over the piss, and he's getting visibly annoyed with you, Tinsveta, you see, you hear a bang as this massive humanoid crowds the doorway as he steps out. He just looks human. He's just large. I mean, he's roughly 6'3" or 6'5", all muscle, and this big blocky, almost square head comes out. Everything all right, Uncle.
Everything's fine. Thank you.
All right.
Go back
well,
to twiddling your thumbs.
you stay here for a minute. You watch that pointy-eared one. He's a bit of a mouth on him. Anyways, 25 gold pieces.
Said you've got 10 and you've got 5. I'll throw 10 down as well.
All right, he counts them all greedily, puts them back into a pouch at his side before he tosses the healer's kit at you.
And Durango's going to try and snatch it out of the air and bow in like one fluid motion. Like just make it look effortless.
Oh, good. At least one of you has manners.
And
See,
as he
manners
looks up,
goes both ways, and he pulls out that platinum necklace with the topaz on the end of it, and he says, "See, I was thinking about actually selling this to you as well, but for your attitude, fuck off."
Have a great day, gentlemen. Good luck in Barovia. I'm sure we'll see you again.
I just, as everyone's walking out, I just like, don't mind him. He's got a hangover. Collapsed on the bar last night. He's just cranky. I apologize for him.
We've all had bad days, but again, this is best. Maybe we don't speak much, huh? Good luck on your travels.
And just sort of give him a little, not a salute, but just wave from the brow.
As you exit, who exits the building first?
Probably me.
Oh yeah.
Right, Tens. So you storm out, your winter form still in full effect, and you take a few steps into the street as a maybe middle-aged woman, gaunt, almost yellowish tone to the skin. her hair grayed and frizzed and dark, that typical dark Barovian look. Her clothes soiled. She reaches up and she grabs at you
Off me.
and drops to her knees. Please,
What?
please tell me, have you seen my daughter? Have you seen my daughter? I haven't found her anywhere. She left the house. I can't find her. I can't find anywhere.
He looks around. Anybody know who? Anybody know this person? Anyone?
The villagers just pass by. Nobody even giving a second glance to the woman or you.
God almighty, I hate this fucking town.
She just
Your
starts to
daughter
weep.
is lost in a house? Were you playing hide
No.
and seek?
I don't know where she is. Have you seen her? Gertruda, I have not seen her. She was in the house and now she's left. She's escaped and I have no idea where she could be. This is her doll. And she holds up this malformed rag doll.
Okay.
Please, I'm begging you. Please.
What am I supposed to do with the
please
doll?
tell
Am I
her
a
to come
fucking
home.
bloodhound?
If you see her, please tell her to come home.
What does she look like?
Her name is Gertruda. She's dark hair, teenage girl out there in the world alone. This is a mother's worst nightmare. I don't know how.
You did not tell me what I asked for. What does she look like?
She's pretty, young, thin. She looks like me many years ago. Dark hair, deep brown eyes.
He looks around. How many people have black hair and deep brown eyes around him?
Make a perception check.
16.
Yeah, that seems to be a very common physical trait there. I mean,
Mhm.
many of the people look like they are all the same basic ethnicity.
He grabs a hold of a pretty girl nearby that has that similar description and just says, "Do you know her? Do you know
The
her?"
girl like struggles in your grasp. That is not her, of course not. That is not Gertruda. Please, take her doll. She will recognize her doll.
He'll look over his shoulder. Ash, Cole, Mr. Fortescue, someone come take this doll. I'm not taking anything from strangers today.
Does this woman look like she has any money?
Make a perception check.
Hot rolls tonight, I tell you, that's a 4. Yeah.
So, Durango, you have known farmers to be deceptive, right? I mean, they can wear sackcloth and be very poorly dressed, but make a very good living. So you never know, right? And you can't ever judge a book by its cover when it comes to this, because sometimes, they can have, there's always gold or silver hidden away somewhere in that house, right? They've been saving up for something. So you never know.
Well, miss, it is most unfortunate that we are already, how do you say, under contract. We are on our way to complete some business right now, but perhaps for the right price, for a generous bidder, we could make some time.
It just collapses in the street, in the mud of the street, and it's soaking through her already stained garments, that she's wearing, as she just weeps into her hands openly, that doll just sitting in the mud.
Cole sort of looks down, and he's just coming outside and kind of seeing this at this point, and
Somebody else has to take it. I'm not touching anything that isn't on my person already today.
Yeah, get yourself up. This ain't proper for a lady, and help her to her feet.
I just know that she is going to die out here on her own, out in the wilderness. She will be dead.
Well,
This is not the place for a young girl.
We weren't saying like no promises, and we do typically expect to be compensated. Hey, give me the doll.
Thank you. Thank you so much. If you see my poor Gertruda, please tell her her mother misses her. She is safe here. Please send her home.
If we find her, what house should we be sending her to?
And she points directly next door to the mercantile.
About where I saw the cart last night.
No, actually.
No.
No.
Okay.
No, she went missing about a week ago. She broke out of the house. She left and just vanished.
So she was in her teens?
I'm sorry, did you say
Correct.
broke out of her own house?
Well, yes, of course. These are dangerous times and dangerous streets. We lock the doors at night to keep her safe. It's not good for a young girl to be walking on the streets of Barovia at night.
Don't you think 13's a bit old to be playing with dolls?
It is the only thing she has. It was mine when I was a child, and I passed it down to her.
To be fair, I've seen older women playing with dolls than 13.
Well, live and let live, I suppose. We will see.
She's the only thing I have left in this world. Please, if you find her, tell her to come home.
Bull's gonna, just take the doll and put it in one of the interior pockets of the jacket, now vest. Now get yourself up. Get yourself up. Get that mud off here. Rango, you wanna do your thing?
Yes, of course. Durango starts snapping his fingers in her general direction, cleaning her up, and unsoiling her clothes, getting the mud off her. As he does this, he's speaking to Cole and Infernal. Do you smell gold?
Yeah, you never know with these farmer types. An heirloom might, get a good appraisal somewhere.
Or perhaps a grateful family?
It's true.
She just doesn't even look down at her dress that is now cleaned, and she just grabs onto you again, Cole, and she says, a few words in a language you don't understand. Thank you so much, and I wish you great fortune in your journeys. I hope you find my poor Gertruda safe.
Yes. Well, if any should stand a chance at overcoming this dangerous journey, it is Sir Cole Mavvin and the great Durango Fortescue. As he's clearly speaking to the crowd around them as they move past, trying to spread their influence and notoriety. Not really paying any attention to her.
And she just continues to sort of smile and bow in the street.
So I'd make a complimentary sort of position next to Durango, low bow, arm out, leg extended.
Durango's damn near Captain Morgan at this point.
Before she leaves, he's gonna Tens is gonna grab her arm and just be like, just so you know, the last thing you have is your life. You should cherish it more than you do.
My daughter is my whole life. She is my whole world.
No.
Perhaps you have no children. You do not understand.
And he just rolls his eyes and ignores her at this point, moving towards the house that they're supposed to be going to.
I got sunshine up my asshole. He's got a, badger or something.
I mean, generally I think of myself as, kind of the anti-charming kind of person. And he's beating me out today, and I'm honestly a little impressed.
You should take notes, for next time.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll come around.
I guess we're following tens at this point.
Yeah. Cole, just make sure you add that to your sheet somewhere.
Okay, so misformed doll.
Yeah, sackcloth.
And as we're as we're going down, I am gonna take a look at the doll. Is it humanoid shaped? Is there like extra arms? Is it like one of those My Little Monster dolls with a giant like?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to see. Yeah, it's just a very poorly constructed sort of, or it is sort of malformed. Some of the features are a little off. Like one arm is a little longer than the others, and the head is a little bigger, and the buttons are a little loose on the eyes. It's
just like a handmade sort of.
Yeah, and it is not. It is not attractive for like as far as dolls go, but you do notice, the doll itself has this sort of strange leer, like the mouth and the face is sort of half like cocked sideways, with this very like dress that's not unsimilar to the one that the woman was wearing in material and color. There is a small tag, like a maker's mark on the doll itself.
Okay.
That just reads, is no fun, is no blinksy. Blinsky.
Blin.
Blinsky.
Is no fun, is no Blinsky as in one word, or?
Yeah, hold on. Type in the chat for you.
All right. So like a slogan, is no fun, is no Blinsky. Kind of.
Correct.
Okay.
And as the rest of you make your way, now you continue to walk down the muddy streets, that sky overcasts, darkening at times. Clouds continue to pass by, somehow continue, darkening areas of the street as this vague morning mist, it just settles across the road. And continue to trudge along through it. You reach the end of the road where a weary-looking mansion squats behind a rusted iron fence. The iron gates are twisted and torn. The right gate is cast aside, while the left one just swings lazily, creaking in the wind. The stuttering squeal and clang of the gate repeats with mindless precision. Weeds choke the grounds and press with menace upon the house itself. Yet against the walls, the growth has been tramped down to create a path all about the domain. The first thing you notice, tens, are these heavy claw markings that have stripped the once beautiful finish off the walls of this building. These great black marks that tell of fires that have assailed the mansion. The windows in the building, not a pane, very similar to the one in the death house. Not a shard of glass stands in any window. They are all boarded completely up from the inside with planks. Each one marked with stains of evil omen.
This is the head of the city's house. I don't know that it's going to be much better. Then the last house we visited. Seems like they're not very well liked, and he points out the burn marks from the exterior, the claw marks. What do the claw marks look like they're from?
Make a perception check. Did that wrong there. Oops, there we go.
How about a 22?
22. So, looking around and trying to, figure out what the claw marks are from. I mean, they would appear to be large. You've studied claw marks from different, hunting animals. You've seen wolves and various larger forms of wolves. You've seen large cats in your times, mountain lions, cougars, that sort of thing. They appear to be canine.
How far up the wall do they go?
They extend up the wall 10, 15 feet. They are deep, gouged into the wood, and then you follow those down, and you can actually see around the mansion through those padded, push down weeds, the paths that have been created, wolf prints and human footprints, or dogs footprints, human footprints. But judging by the size, it's either a very large dog or wolf.
He looks back at Ash and just says, "Think it's another fake person? Might be. Another ghost? Another specter?"
Yeah, the last house didn't have anything on the outside.
No, but they still had everything boarded up, and it wasn't very well taken care of, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I don't think we need to go inside.
I think I'm good.
Ash will unsling his bow and just kind of be ready. He doesn't trust the house.
Oh,
And as you sort of, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Tense.
It's all good. And look at the paw prints. Kind of points him out, looking around. Those claws go awful high. Well, again. This is starting to feel more and more like home, and I don't like it. Too much fuckery.
You're muted, Ryan.
Oh, thank you. What will be attacking our house?
People who want in.
Oh, it looked like no people.
People have friends. People have pets.
15-foot pets.
Things can climb.
Sure.
Yeah, as you guys begin to examine the outside of the house, the door swings open. Ismark walks out towards you all, a smile on his face as he sees yes, welcome. You came. Fantastic. Great. Now we can save her. I knew you'd come.
Sure.
Got a little hitch.
Cole, he pats you on the arm as he does. Again, a big smile. Yes, finally, some brave men to help me with this task.
Small problem. Strahd knows about your plan.
Hey, what now?
Strahd knows about the plan.
He looks at you.
I thought
Come.
that's what you two were barking about this morning.
Is no one going to inform me of this?
Come, gentlemen. It is not safe to talk out here. Come quickly.
It doesn't look
talk
safe
anywhere.
to anywhere.
And he beckons you inside the house.
Things I do for
I'm
gold.
I'm not leaving that front room. Not gonna do it.
Alright, so we had
You
a
will
bad
enter?
experience. A bad experience with Holmes. Like, if you pull anything funny, this morning starts finding your temple.
No funny business. I promise. I am greatly in your debt. I just, it is not safe. Strahd has spies everywhere, and your eyes begin to look. He looks up into a tree, and you see these ravens sitting there. They seem to be just pecking. 3 or 4 of them sitting on a tree. One of them caws loudly. Yes, come quickly.
Quickly, then. Follows.
I cannot
And as
wait
you
for
all
the
enter-
hangover to rail off. He's really getting on my nerves.
He's a real saucy one today.
Yeah.
Is this what I'm
And
like
as
all
you
the
all-
time?
As you all enter the building, he shuts the door behind you and latches the lock, peering through a gap in one of the boarded windows. The inside of the house opens up before you, and standing at a staircase headed down into the common room is this beautiful woman. Bright, almost contrasting the stark black of the majority of the hair that you find in these citizens, is this almost reddish, auburny, light brown. These big green eyes, and a slender frame that is now suited in as if ready for travel and battle. She is wearing armor, a bright red cloth wrapped tightly around her neck as she reaches the bottom step. And as all of you gather inside the house, that's where we're going to take our first break. So, thank you guys so much for sticking in there with us. Make sure, I see a lot of people, a lot of entries for Steam game giveaways. I see a lot of entries for the dice. Super excited for all that stuff. Make sure if you haven't already collected those things, for the cost of a follow, you get the Steam game bribe, and 2,000 L thanks get you the dice entry. You'll get those. You can do that every single stream, so don't be stingy. Don't be afraid to spend those dice. And literally, it's really good odds on those Steam game giveaways. So make sure we're hitting those. And guys, give us like 10 minutes just to refresh our beverages and gather ourselves, and we'll be right back. And welcome back as we dive back in the interior of the mansion. Now that your eyes are able to wander from the beautiful woman that just walked down the stairs, is well furnished. The fixtures show signs of significant wear. The windows, again, all boarded up. The presence of holy symbols, many familiar to you, Cole, as you see the symbol of Lathander multiple times throughout the home. The other stark realization, despite the interior, is the ever present smell of decay and rot. Similar to the one you first smelt, Tens, when you entered past the gates of Barovia. And a slight hint of flowers. So, what do you mean Strahd is aware of our plans?
Well,
Yes.
he showed up at the bar last night, or the inn, or whatever. And it wasn't more than 5-10 minutes after we talked to you about it that he knew you by name, knew exactly what you were planning, exactly where you were trying to take her. And I
Even more
quote,
pertinent is that we leave suddenly, Irina. We must move. We do not have time to waste. The woman sort of turns and glowers a bit at him. I have told you before that we are not leaving until Father is buried. Perhaps your friends can help us with that quick task before we march to Wallachia, and I will hide wherever needed.
Sir, you said something about an abbey, yes?
Yes, my dear sister. And he points to the room off to the side, and Tens, you sort of lean around. Your natural curiosity forces you to lean in, and you see on the ground a rather makeshift, very simple wooden coffin surrounded by these wilted flowers. Our father took ill and passed some time ago. The citizens of this town, they fear Irina, for they fear Strahd's wrath. None has offered to help assist us in the burial. We made the coffin ourselves. But perhaps if we can get him to the church, we can find some respite in be on our way and leave this cursed place.
Does he have to be at the church, or can he be buried here on the grounds? It's an honest question. If they can be buried here, if he can be
Yes,
buried here.
yes, of course, and I understand. Father was a religious. He was a religious man, and
He looks at all the different symbols.
I would like to see him placed somewhere where perhaps his soul can move beyond this nightmare. Father Donovich can help. Make sure he gets his final rest.
You must excuse our friend's brisk manner. He is not himself this morning. It is unfortunate that tragedy should strike so close to one so lovely, Miss. He hangs on the word.
Irina.
My name is Irina Koliana. This is my brother. Of course, you've met Ismark. I am obviously adopted. As you can tell the lack of resemblance, but they have raised me amongst them. My father was very kind to me. I wish to repay that kindness one last time, and then I will go wherever Ismark sees fit.
A
Bloody
most
pets.
compelling tale.
And we will be glad to give a hand. You know, the client's always correct. And he's adjusting everything in the shield, and he's making it no secret of the symbol emblazoned on his shield. Actually, trying to get into positions where, like, not showing it off, but like to let them know that, like, hey, hey, this is destined. You should pay this man. Lythander deems it.
Surely you understand then how important it is that he gets properly buried and read his rights.
Of course it is. And no offense meant, ma'am. Just seems the Dawn has a bit of trouble here.
They sort of look back and forth at each other. Anyways, it is best that we move quickly then. If we are to achieve this task, we should be on our way. Strangers, will you help us? The church is not far. It is on the other side of town. And then we can be on with it and on the road.
Let's just get this done with.
Cole crouches down on one side of the makeshift coffin.
Ismark carries the other. His Arena packs a few things in bags, and you all set out. Once again, into the streets, this somber procession, this makeshift funeral that you've prepared for the former burgomeister of the town.
Sins is gonna get Ash
Barovia.
aside, kind of away from everyone for a moment, and just be like, get information about the former burgomaster. Yeah, see if he see how he died. I want to know more about those claw marks, but I don't think I'm the one to ask today.
Yeah. And I am. This is weird, but I'll work on it. And Ash will sidle up alongside of Irina. Sorry about being blunt, but how did he pass?
He took ill, fever. Unfortunately, no doctors or anyone from the city would come near the house for fear of me. And it was quiet when he passed in the night.
So if there's fear of you, why not have your brother take him into town? Leave you out of the
By
equation.
that time, he was too weak, and to be honest, most of the town folks will not bother with either of us. They are afraid of Strahd and his wrath.
And why is he so interested in you?
I don't know. I
What
wish I
happened
could
here?
answer that question.
Any working theories?
None. Strahd feeds on the town folk. Feeds on all of us. And she pulls that scarf down around her neck, and you see these two marks
Feed, you mean in a literal sense?
It is what we know. Mostly folk here, they go about their day, they go about their lives oblivious. Or just too scared to say anything. Several years ago, many rose up against Strahd, charged his castle, led by outsiders. None returned.
What happened to your house?
It's just tough to say. We hid ourselves inside, but things come. My brother, he believes it's Strahd coming for me. I don't know if it was my father and his worship of Lathander. It is hard to tell what spurned such wrath. But his minions, they come in the night. The townsfolk, they get angry. They believe they are cursed because we are cursed, because the Lord Strahd has cursed us, the devil. So, I don't know.
Do I believe her on anything related to why Strahd's after her in particular?
Make an insight check.
Do I believe her on not knowing what the stuff is on her house?
Also make an insight check.
16.
26.
Oh my god.
So the two of you sort of
Oh, wow.
listening to this tale, and Tens, you're a little further back, but your senses are keen, and you sent Jay in or you sent Ash in for a reason, right? He's not particularly subtle. So you could stay at a distance and listen to the conversation that was had. And you're watching is all of her tells or any tics that she may have are not there. She seems very genuine and firm in her belief and her lack of understanding of what is happening and why and what is attacking the house. You know, this vision flashes of her and her brother, the father, hiding, boarding up the house while it's just being assailed from the outside. You know, it's you sort of piece it together, and you feel sad. And there's even in your winter state this flash of sadness for this life that this woman leads, this constant torment. And it's emphasized by the fact that even now, as you carry her dead father through the streets towards this church, the townsfolk are noticeably removing themselves from the street. Anything they can to avoid your procession, like an invading army or a tax collector.
He addresses the brother. Just says, "So you're not planning on going then? You're just gonna send her?"
No, we are planning to stay in Vallaki. Yes.
You are too. Okay. Well,
Yes,
To be honest.
there is whispers of. We can talk more on the road. You must understand this. There are spies everywhere.
I don't trust the road either, but sure.
This is wise, but we can at least drown out some sound by a campfire, right? But yes, there are people in Vallaki that we are told will help us and who have similar feelings as we do about our Lord and Master.
Tins is going to hold the rest of his questions until after we get through with this, in his mind, bullshit assignment of burying this man.
So as you all make your way somberly up the street, the townsfolk, noticeably now to all of you, are avoiding even crossing your path as they duck behind buildings and into doorways and down streets as you proceed north through town. Again, raised a bit on a hill, you see a large stone structure, the church looming up before you. All around, a thin, small iron gate protects gravestones and the cemetery beyond.
This is a huge cemetery for such a compared to the size of the town.
Noticeably so, right? And the slight rise seems to atop. It seems to. It's all directly underneath the roots of that pillar of stone that supports Castle Ravenloft that just looms up above this massive cliffside above the town. And that comes to a halt at that cemetery that stretches out behind the church. The church itself, a gray, sagging edifice of stone and wood, this obviously weathered structure, broken from the assaults of evil for centuries on end. And it is worn and it is weary. There's a bell tower rising towards the back, a bit of a flickering light that shines through holes in the dim gray gloom that is Barovia. And I'll get you all in the scene here. Thought I had you in there. I guess I didn't.
Look at that fade in. Slick.
I try. All right. So as that structure looms before you, they, Irina and her brother begin to carry the coffin around the side of the building. Ismark turns to you and says, yes, okay, please go inside and see if you can find Father Donovich.
Lower the coffin gently.
Ash makes a point of making sure that the hood is up on his cloak and is pretty, it's kind of drooped down as far as it can be.
Yeah, just go up to the front doors and open them up, see where this priest is.
So as you open the front door, the heavy wooden doors creak again, as everything does in Barovia. This subtle scream of aggravation at the disturbance of the status quo. inside the church. In those doors, by the way, that you push open, laden with similar claw marks to the ones you saw on the Burgomeister's house. This black, cracking wood, marred by fire and anger. You push open the door, and there's a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall that is brightly lit. The light brilliant against the gray, gloomy atmosphere of the outside. The smell of mildew assails your nostrils as you push forward. There are 4 doors on either side. There are 2 doors on either side of the hallway, 4 in total. Because you can see the chapel itself, the first thing you notice is the debris strewn across, the broken pews and holy symbols spread across the floor in pieces, while a rather meager-looking figure prostrates themselves at an altar. The soft hum, a voice reciting a prayer. Go to the arms of, Go to the arms of Lathander. Be in his eternal warmth, soothing light. We will miss you. We will cherish your moments. Your legacy will continue throughout. Through them you shall live on. And it just continues to repeat this prayer, this familiar prayer to you, Cole.
As I walk forward, I'm just going to repeat the lines, in synchronization with him.
Ash, seeing all the debris, is going to be a little more cautious in his approach now, a little more skeptical of the safety of this place, and is going to check doors as he walks by.
The sound of your voice for a moment distracts him as he turns to you, Cole. Hollowed eyes and sunken features. His eye, a redness to his eyes, as if he's been weeping throughout the night. Yes. It is. We don't get many visitors here. How can I help you, my child?
Not here for myself, Father. You have a visitor that's looking for some funeral rites. Ismar, I think his name is.
Ismark. Yeah. You are friends of the Burgomaster, yeah?
Employees, more like.
So he has passed. Hopefully this was a peaceful affair.
I weren't present for. You'd have to ask the siblings.
Well, as you can see, we are not in the best of states here.
See that? What happened?
I don't know how much assistance I can be. This is just the Lord of Light testing our faith, my child. It is. As he stands up, and who all has entered the chapel at this point?
Durango's still outside, not too eager to enter a church.
Tens is staying outside just because he wants to keep an eye on the siblings.
Ash is inside.
So Ash and Cole, as the father stands up, you can see the robes that he's wearing are worn at the knees and thin, and there's a bit of dried blood from where he has been praying throughout the evening. In the distance, you hear something rustling and a banging.
Vince pulls his
Bang. 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 Bang.
This coming from
As you-
outside?
You try to figure it out, right? You're just this nervous look on the father's face suddenly, as all of you just hear this banging.
Ash is gonna sprint forward to the guy and be like, and full on like getting his bow out, ready. What the hell was that?
Tears begin to cascade down his cheeks again. This is my son. The devil has returned him. It's not my son. He's not. It's just not Doru. It's just not him. A monster in my son's skin has returned. I have locked him away. I do not have the strength. I have prayed through the night to find it, to end his suffering, to rid the world of this evil, but I cannot find it.
You're gonna have to be a bit more specific. What do you mean he ate your son?
He wears my son's skin. He looks like my son, but he is a monster. He is a devil, a demon. One of Strahd's minions. So, my son, Doru, is a good boy. He left a year ago. His 20th birthday. He was part of a revolt against Lord Strahd. The town folks, led by this outsider, this wizard in black robes who came from some faraway land, as most strangers do. He led Doro and many of the other young boys at the time to the castle. None returned. Till 3 nights ago, then my Doro returned to me. However, that is not my son that you hear. He just wears his skin like a cruel joke. A test from the Morning Lord of my faith, and I am remiss to say that I have failed.
Cole's gonna walk up to the altar and sort of strapped behind him. It's a smaller one, but it's sort of attached to the belt behind is a wooden box with a coin slit on top. Put it down on the altar, and it just says alms on the front. And sounds to me like I find her might answer your prayers. It'll come cheap, but we can answer them for you. I flip open the alms box.
This is my burden to bear. This is for me to find the strength to end this suffering. It is not for you, stranger. I really appreciate your efforts. This is not for you.
So what's your plan then? You're just gonna keep him locked in there? If he's a demon, he's probably stronger. He's definitely younger. You're just gonna...
Again, this is why I pray. I pray every night for the strength to see this through.
You already said you failed. You said that. You said you failed.
Yes, and every night I fail again and again and again, but I will find it. I do not need your help. I can take care of this.
Oh, I guess you only need the help of the Dawnbreakers then. Quickly close up the box. Shame.
This might be the answer to your prayers walking out the door. And Ash will just turn on heel and walk away.
Well, if you want to play a priest...
As you walk past that door, Ash, you hear the banging coming from from somewhere here.
Just gonna stop and look at it. Contemplate.
Anyways, is the Burgermeister's body here? Has he been delivered?
He's out front. We've got a couple more
Okay,
compatriots out there too.
Yes, please bring him around back, and I will assist with the burial. It is still early. Our prayers will still be heard.
Just walk out, and again, I'm making sure that the shield is very prominent. It's in its proper upright position. We walk out the front door.
As you guys walk out the front door, Tens just says, I think we should probably try and bar that in a little bit harder so that way he doesn't escape if he's so demonic.
Apparently, it ain't none of our concern.
Fine then.
Aye, you talk to the priest. I tried.
You don't want me talking to anybody today. He will just move out of the way.
With that, as all of you gather to carry the coffin, Father Donovan, having changed his vestments, meets you outside. The hole, well, easy to dig, is the earth is muddy and wet. As the coffin is lowered in, a few of you struggle to climb out and get muddy as you lower it into the hole. And the father begins uttering prayers. As the morning Lord is beckoned to free the Burgermeister and his soul from the prison that Strahd has created here. A single ray of light cascades through the clouds and illuminates the gravesite for just a moment. The quick glimmer of hope in an otherwise gray and dark world. As the dirt is finally covered, and Irina and Ismark share their tears and their woes and thank the Father, he turns to all of you. So, the plan is to get her away from here, yeah?
Is it you're the one leading this thing? We're just there to provide muscle.
No, I will not leave my son. Unfortunately, I must take care of that before I take care of any other tasks.
Oh, we're talking to the priest. I thought we were talking to Ismark. Oh, my fault.
No, Ismark has this accent.
Ah, sorry.
Rolling over my cloak here. Yes. Yeah. No. It is. This is best. It is better to take Irina as far from Castle Ravenloft as we can, Father. Yeah. I too think this is best. As there is an abbey of Saint Markovia in Kresk, or failing that, of course, Velaki. Either one, but I would get her as far away from here as I can. You can. I will handle Doru in time as soon as I find the strength to deal.
Perhaps, my friend, it is no accident or a mistake that you find yourself in the presence of the brave Sir Mavvin and the great Durango Fortescue in your time of need.
It would be easy for me to accept such kind such a kindness from the likes of you travelers. I am weary and weak, but I cannot in good faith let you face that monster that is down there. And I cannot in good faith face my son, or what is left of him.
Tenge just mumbles under his breath, "Coward."
You're not wrong, my friend. It is fear, it is cowardice, it is sadness. You're not wrong, but this is why we pray. Yes, these are the tasks that are set before us. It's the trials we must endure. But if you want to go face him, I do not have the power to stop you. I beg that you let me find the time, find the strength to do this on my own. But again, I cannot stop you, nor do I begrudge you your desire towards the world of the evil that I have locked away.
Why wouldn't you go to the Abbey? You speak of it as if it's helpful and it would be encouraging.
There's work to do here, my son. This is not. We do not assume these positions for personal gains. There's much needs. These people in Barovia have no light, none in this darkness.
But not even the deities stay in one church at any one given time. They go and come and go as they please, by my understanding.
Yes, of course, but this is a symbol. It is hope for those few that keep their faith in the town, who have are much like a burgermeister or the young Irina here.
Yes, the only
Ismark.
two that seem to really have any faith in this town at all, outside of the despair that this town has. If
There are
Strahd.
those who still keep their faith in these dark times, and I cannot abandon them for my own self benefits. That is not.
I'm going to
That is
assume that
not,
there's, you could probably count them all on one hand in Barovia.
Even if there was none, and I was only here to fan a small spark, it would be enough.
He looks at the burn marks on the building. Right.
Perhaps someday you will have something important to you that you will need conviction for, that you will fight for no gain, for no personal benefit or trophy. Then you will understand.
I live for the story.
But I do not want to keep you all. I know you have a journey ahead of you.
Rose. Something tells me these roads aren't very safe at night, so we should probably get a move.
Your faith. It will guide you. It will serve as a shield for you, my son.
You see
However-
Cole's face just wince a little bit when he's referring to faith.
However, there are many things out there that care little for your faith. So keep close to one another. Stay safe. Move quickly and quietly.
I'll take that advice. Look over to the siblings. I'm sorry to interrupt your morning, but, you ready? You're muted, sir.
Yes, I am ready. I still think that Valaki is the correct path, although there is also the Abbey. We could go either way. The Abbey is further, but perhaps the further we get from Strahd, the safer she will be.
I
will
think
leave
we
it
should go
to you.
I think we should go to the Abbey.
You're Cole.
Valaki is roughly a day's journey. We could stay there for the evening and head for the Abbey the next day.
I think that's wise. But that's just me.
Yes.
If
I think
it
we
It is
is-
best we make our way now and hit the roads.
But
do not want to be
before we
caught.
leave, if it is your intent to be unnoticed, I have many paints, powders, dyes to perhaps change your appearance. Although it is a shame to obscure such a lovely face. And Durango reaches out his 6 fingers kind of in Arena's general direction.
Just sort of smiles, not upset by the fingers or anything. She just looks at you and with genuine kindness. Ismark turns and says, if only such things would work to deter Strahd and his minions, but unfortunately, we've tried such things and they always manage to sniff us out, if you will. I think it is best that we not waste any more time and be on our way.
Agreed. We can chat on the road.
Excellent. Father, thank you again. If you have done us a great honor, I sing Father put to rest. As the priest nods, the rest of you file out of the graveyard. Back down through the center of Barovia and west this time. The journey is somber. The path takes you across a old stone bridge. And as you approach, you see the bridge itself rises across this bit of a gully in this river that flows from west to east. On the other side, the woods thicken. The tombstone-like structures that make up the village of Barovia, their silhouettes barely visible through the mist beyond, now sit at your back. The forest itself looks equally as inviting in the gloom and haze that rises up as that river cascades down through the valley. And as your feet touch that cold stone, those ancient structures built here thousands of years ago, that cold reminder of what you are attempting to escape. That's where we'll pick up next week. So, thank you, everyone. Welcome to Ravenloft.
This game is
Hope everyone's
stressful.
having a great time.
This game is stressful. Even when there's no combat, this game is stressful. Holy shit.
Especially
I
when
love
there's
it.
no combat.
Like, yeah, combat's straightforward. Like I just gotta hit something. They're just kill something. Like that's easy. There's no decision you need to make.
The things that are trying to kill you, there's little tokens. You can see them, right?
Sometimes.
The absence of the tokens, I don't know what to make of this, man. It's just danger everywhere.
Anyways, thank you everybody for sticking in there with us. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. I don't know about my friends here playing the game with me. I don't know how much fun they're having yet, because it's judging by all their faces, it doesn't look great. But I'm gonna keep doing it to them anyways because I enjoy it. For those of you that are new, a couple things going on tonight. One, every month we do a custom Dragonite dice giveaway. Please feel free, if you've got the tokens down below, use those 2,000. Give yourself an entry for our Dragonite dice giveaway. The dice are based off of our a gnomish artificer from our Tuesday night games, the 5 Best Friends. They are very, very cool. We do a dice giveaway every single month. Every stream, you can enter to win those. There they are, absolutely beautiful for our little Quayland dice this month. Ta-da! We're also giving away a game tonight, a Steam game. So for the price of a follow in chat, 300 elf eggs, you can get yourself entered to a stream game. So I'll give it just another minute while I continue to rattle off all of our cool things coming up, and while you guys figure that out. So anyways, we could not make this possible without, of course, our sponsors, Foundry and Forge. Thank you so much for everything you do to make this game so easy to run and so user-friendly and honestly so dynamic. I really started to play with even more and just diving in. You saw some of the fading and some of the cool things that we can do with Foundry these days. And it ran so smooth tonight on Forge, thanks to all the work that they put in. So thank you guys so much for that. If you are not hip to it, we are playing another game tomorrow night called The Sinner's Dream. That is our 1940s detective noir themed adventure that is run by our very own Chuck, our Tensveta. Chuck, what does everybody need to know about A Sinner's Dream?
I mean, it's not as gloomy as this, but also gloomy, just in a weirder way. I mean, it's detective. It's a bunch of detective stuff. There's more RP than there is combat, and it gets really wild and goofy rather quickly because these players at my table can't stop making dick jokes.
You know, I still think you make more dick jokes than the rest of us, but we are private eyes. I don't see what the joke is. Anyways, that's with myself. I'm a player in that one. We've got a couple really good role players that play in that one with us. On top of Trevor, Tattoos and Bones, who is a just dear friend of ours. And if you're not following him on Twitter, haven't seen all the stuff Trevor's doing. Fantastic. You guys are way behind. Trevor is actually absolutely phenomenal, great human being, and we're super excited to play with him in the game. There he is. Woohoo! Hey Trevor, how are you? I've missed you, bud.
Hey, you got an I missed
me.
you.
I have, because I spent a week away, right? So I feel like I've missed all of you. And then Tuesday we play our normal, just a regular D&D homebrewed game. Thursday we play Urban Shadows. So we've got a ton of really cool stuff. If you guys are new here, check us out just about most of the days of the week. We're doing something fun. If you really like D&D, you're in the right place. But otherwise, I'm going to shut up now. I think I bought everybody enough time that if you didn't already get your Steam game bribe giveaway,
put your points
well,
in.
then you really just missed out. And Ryan, why don't we go ahead and draw those winners?
I actually have. Chuck, do you want a game? Because you get you want a game.
Am I the only one? Am I the only one?
Everyone's saving them for the dice giveaways, guys. Hey, so actually, let us know. We give away these games, and it's consistently kind of low turnout. The odds of winning are pretty high. Would you rather just save your eggs for the dice? Let us know. Tweet us on Twitter, Discord. If we could just put our focus there, and if you don't like the games, I'd much rather bribe you with dice. So let us know. Oh, Jay, you're very muted.
Enthralling.
Oh, whatever, Chuck. I feel like you don't have time for games, and I don't want to give you one. So why don't you just roll a d20?
Okay, that's a fair trade, I think. Have a 10.
That's a 10.
A 10. 1, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Cobalt Sprig. Congratulations. Chuck just won you a free game tonight. Nice job.
Take it and run.
We'll go ahead and message you that Steam key chat.
It's coming at you now.
All right, guys. Well, thank you again so much. Calamity. Cole's not a great paladin.
No.
He's just not, and you'll see.
This was all very much played up for the theater of it. So yeah.
Our peak can be
absolutely
a
so
bitch sometimes.
Guys, let's go ahead and we're gonna do one more. Radio Jay or Ash, why don't you go ahead and roll us another d20?
Another d20.
We figure out who we're gonna go raid tonight.
Okie dokie. We got the d20. Ooh, going deep. 18.
That's deep for a Sunday night. Okay, 18, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9.
I mean, divide by 2 if you need to. Why not?
Oh no, there's enough people. There's definitely enough people.
There's always enough people.
Dungeons and Dragon Storms by Robbie Landis is where we're going.
Fantastic. So everybody, let's go make some new friends. Go be loud. We love you. Thank you. All those things. And we will see all of you guys hopefully tomorrow, maybe Tuesday, maybe Thursday, definitely next week.
I want to see you tomorrow. Bye.
I know. Tomorrow's going to be fun, man.
Good night, everybody.